How you doing, everybody? My name is Ledarius, Stennis, and this is ODU Extra Point. Today we're coming to you live to talk about Carmelo Anthony and him opting out his contract in New York after the season is finished. Carmelo Anthony chose to opt out of his final year of the contract, saying that every NBA player needs to test the waters of free agency. After this season, Carmelo Anthony will decide where he will play next season's basketball. He has a choice of going to the Los Angeles Lakers, who's best friends with Kobe Bryant, and his wife, Lala, who's an actress, has a home in Los Angeles, and really are considering moving to LA. Carmelo Anthony says that he does not want to leave New York, but at the same time, he has to do what's best for himself and his family. This doesn't mean he will not be in New York next season. He just has to choose where he wants to play, not about the money situation, but if he has a team to contend for a national championship. He loves being in New York, which he's from, but he went to high school in Baltimore where he was raised. But he also wants to test the free agency waters to see what's best for him. LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh also had this same complication. But the way LeBron handled the situation turned the nation against him as one of the best players in the country. Carmelo Anthony, on the same hand, did the same thing. He opted out of his contract, but the way he did it was a little bit more professional, and others are curious to see what he will decide to do. Carmelo Anthony plays alongside with Amar'e Stoudemire, which seems they cannot mesh together. So, Carmelo Anthony opting out his contract has a big deal to do with Amar'e Stoudemire, seeing that the two can get along together and play together. When a couple players from the Knicks were interviewed last week, they all were asked if Carmelo will leave New York or will he stay. Raymond Felton, along with a couple other players, also said there's no question that Carmelo Anthony will remain a New York Knick after this season is over, along with J.R. Smith, who he's best friends with. But, on the other hand, Amar'e Stoudemire, he was asked if Carmelo Anthony will remain a Knick, and he was the only one pretty skeptical and thought that Carmelo Anthony would be leaving. Carmelo Anthony and the New York Knicks did well without Amar'e Stoudemire in the lineup, and Amar'e Stoudemire came back and played pretty decent. But once Amar'e Stoudemire came back, the chemistry of the Knicks was not just the same. And the Knicks cannot cut Amar'e Stoudemire due to the amount of money that they owe him, and Amar'e Stoudemire will not be traded by the New York Knicks, at least in everyone's eyes. But Carmelo Anthony, on the other hand, has a lot of other teams that are willing to take him. But the New York Knicks can pay him more than any other team in the NBA is allowed to pay him, with $34 million. So therefore, Carmelo Anthony, will he be a New York Knick next season, or will he not be? That's the big question. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see. So if you think Carmelo Anthony being a New York Knick is the best thing, just stay tuned, because this year's a long season, and Carmelo Anthony wants to be a New York Knick. He is a New York Knick, and he said he would play this season to win the championship as a New York Knick. LeBron James and Miami Heat, well, we all know what happened with that big three. They're still together, and they're looking to be the defending national champs for 3 times in a row. Ladies and gentlemen, that's your ODU Extra Point.